Welcome to the
YHELPful podcast,
where we bridge the gap between teens and adults discussing everyday life and current events.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the YHELPful podcast. My name is Sarah Miles.
My name is Christina Sims.
And we're your hosts for today's episode. Our topic for today is LGBTQ plus pride. Today we're going to discuss the community and its ties to mental health. So a little bit about the history of Pride. The concept of Pride Month began with a series of riots for gay liberation that took place for several days, known as the Stonewall Riots. The federal government first acknowledged the month in 1999 when President Clinton declared June as Gay and Lesbian Pride Month. In 2009, Obama declared June as LGBT Pride Month. And then in 2021, President Biden declared June as LGBTQ Pride Month. So that's where we got LGBTQ plus for people that, don't know. In terms of statistics and things like that, for starters, 4.5% of the U.S. population identifies as lesbian, gay, or bisexual. Of those, over 39% reported having mental illness in the past year, and that's nearly 5.8 million people. So with that to say, there's plenty and many people that, in this community struggle with mental health, and it should be, I don't want to say normalized because that's not really a good word to use, but it should be more acknowledged. So with that, we're going to get into the ties that mental health have with this community. So Christina, you want to hop in?
So there's a lot of mental health struggles within the LGBTQ community, unfortunately. And a lot of it stems from not being accepted by their family, their friends, feeling they have to hide a part of themselves that is just natural to them because that's who they are. And just facing issues like hate crimes or not being accepted in like different religious situations, and everyone's own perception about the community and about gay rights and stuff like that. So it's very unfortunate that they have to go through such terrible things, but that is where a lot of the mental health struggles stem from. And having a community, like a background or a group of people that you can talk to, whether it's a teacher, a psychiatrist, a therapist, even a family member, if you're out, a friend, anyone, it's always good to have someone to talk to because you need someone to talk to about the struggles that you're going through as a queer person, and just in your regular day-to-day life, and how you are coping with whatever may be happening to you, whether it is related to you being queer or whether it's just in life, like life struggles in general.
Absolutely. And it's definitely no secret that this community has to deal with some of the worst kinds of treatment. Like you said, hate crimes, bullying, violence, all types of things. So that's why I say it should be more of a concern, given how society already treats this community. There's so many different, struggles across the spectrum. We can't even touch all of them, but it does ultimately result in these people ultimately having suicidal thoughts, feeling like they don't belong, that they don't want to be here, and that's why there are plenty of resources like YHELP and many other resources that give us a chance to convey that all people deserve love, all people are equal, and it's okay to be who you are. So I do want to say that also a lot of these people are putting their lives on the line, just to be who they are or feel like they can be who they are. And it can be dangerous. It can be life-threatening. It can be scary. It can be all the things. So for that, it's our job, because even if you're not a part of the community, you can still be an ally to the community, in a way that we can be an ally, in a way that we can support. Is things like, providing resources, inclusive language, pronoun usage. And then I'm going to get into that too. Just with pronoun usage in general, I know a lot of people, I don't feel like doing that, and, whatever the case may be. But it's all about respect, and again, making people feel like they belong and they're welcome. And if that's what, if they decide, hey, this is my pronoun and this is what I, prefer to use, then it's best that you at least try. You know what I'm saying? It might not come as easy because, the pronoun usage has become a little bit more, it's kind of surfaced within the last couple of years. I will say pronouns weren't as, people weren't as adamant about them, some years ago. So that's why I'm saying, at least if you at least try, it makes an effort and it shows that you care about this person and that, you feel that you're just as equal as they are. Don't make assumptions. You have to educate yourself. You have to make an effort. Like I said, you have to at least try. And all around, when you do that, you promote a safe environment.
I agree. Another way to be an ally is definitely educating yourself on the history of the LGBTQ community and whatever struggles they may have going on right now in the world, whether it's about gay marriage in certain states or whatever, like AIDS, anything. So I think that you could definitely educate yourself on different topics that tie to the community, and join some protests, join some different organizations that help fight for their rights. And definitely, like Sarah said, use correct pronouns. Like, it's not my job to judge what you want to be called. It's just my job to call you by what you want to be called, because that's respect. And everyone deserves respect, and everyone deserves to feel like accepted and seen and heard. So I'm not going, you should not be judging someone based on what they want to be called. It's a matter of, I want you to feel comfortable, so I'm going to call you by what you feel comfortable. And if they go by all pronouns, switch it up a bit. If they go by she, her, you, she, her, he, him, they, them, they, them. If they use that, he, they, whatever they want to be called, I feel like that is what you call it. Even neo-pronouns. I know that they have surfaced a lot in the past year, but that is still what people like to be identified as, and it's not our job to judge them. It's just our job to make them feel comfortable
and respect them. Exactly. And I think also with pronoun usage, a lot of people, when they get that idea of, oh, I don't feel like doing this, or this is too much, or this is extra, because I've heard all those things before, it's because people don't feel the need to educate themselves before making that effort. And I think once you understand and once you do educate yourself, it'll come a lot easier and it'll come more natural. So being an ally is extremely important. It doesn't mean you have to, go out your way every single day and, do a whole spiel, but it just give people the same respect that you would want. It might not be in the same fashion or the same form, but everybody is equal and everybody likes to be treated the same way that they want to be treated.
I agree. One thing to always remember is to surround yourself with positive people that accept you for who you are. You can use that community of people to confide in about your mental health and any concerns you may have. Always reach out if you feel like you need to talk, because it is important to talk through different thoughts and feelings.
There are plenty of resources out here. It might not seem as easily accessible because, when the thoughts kick in, they kick in. You might feel a little bit helpless, but friends, family, those who do accept you and those who do love you and, make you feel like you do belong. You can always talk to them. YHELP is a great resource. Again, phone numbers, lines, websites. There are plenty of different things you can use just to get more insight and, just to not get validation, but get that closure that you do belong here just as much as anybody else does. And that is all the time we have for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode of the YHELPful podcast and were able to take something from it to improve your mental health or a loved one that is involved in the LGBTQ plus community. And remember, as always, to check out more mental health resources at yhelpnow.com and follow YHELP on all social media platforms. Also, you can check out this podcast episode and others on all streaming platforms. Bye.
Bye.
Let the YHELPful podcast be your compass to growing up. For more information, follow us at YHELPnow on all social media platforms and check us out at YHELPnow.com for mental health and life skill resources. Tune into the
YHELPful podcast,
and we hope to be YHELPful.